Hi, I'm Maya Michelle Fine, and this is a demo of Descriptionary, an online polling game I created for educational purposes. We have Blake, who is going to be our descriptor, and the rest of our group of students and educators and participants are going to go ahead and look at all of the images on this poll, and based off of what Blake is saying, are going to select the image that they think he's describing. But to add an extra level of difficulty and a little bit fun gaminess, we're going to go ahead and he's using overall the qualities of lighting. So we're going to go ahead and check out using our wheel to decide, which is an easy fill in the blank option for you all, to figure out what categories within qualities of light he's allowed to use. So we're narrowing his vocabulary so he can be more specific. Oh, spinning the wheel, we have movement. Wow, it's liking movement today. Goodness. All right, color, movement, and shape and distribution. All right, so Blake can only use these categories within his vocabulary of lighting knowledge to describe the following images. Every student on their device will be able to look at these images and be able to vote. Blake, you have about 1 minute to 2 minutes to start using that vocabulary.
The movement, it feels very still in a sense, which is not very clarifying considering how they're pictures. But the color, on the other hand, it's warm, but at the same time cool. There's areas of red, but there's also an area of light, which is a bit redundant given how it's all light, but it's a clear light. The distribution is the size of the light on the subject, and given the picture I have, one of the lights would be front and center to accommodate for the actor and or actors in the shot. But there's also lights in the background that accommodate the rest of the cast and or lack thereof.
Go ahead and click your image responses, please. Blake, it looks like you are pretty split between A, C, and I. Go ahead and take a look at those images really quick. So it's the first, the third, and the second to the last. Take a look at those images and think if you could come up with 2 little things to help clarify and help them target which you're looking at. Go ahead and say those when you're ready.
Red and elevated.
Everybody go ahead and put in your final votes. A lot of people thinking there. All right, in 3, 2, 1, holds, please. All right, Blake, go ahead and let them know which image you were describing.
It's number C.
We're going to go ahead and take a moment. I want you to think about some of the words that Blake said. I'm going to go ahead and activate our word cloud. And I want you to go ahead and just add a couple key things. We're going to keep it to singular as opposed to plural. And think about what words were most helpful that were shared. So it looked like red was the most helpful word of that. Go ahead and look at what other people have written. And if one of those words that isn't very big right now you're looking at and you're like, oh, that totally was great, go ahead and also type that in and submit it. Okay, background's getting bigger. Forefront, so really thinking about what that differentiation is. Absolutely clear. So that clear white light that was making, adding a lot of visibility there. Absolutely. Take about 5 more seconds. Add any other word that seems like it's jumping out to you. All right, background. Everybody's loving background, forefront, and red. Blake, great use of words. So now let's go ahead and open that up to the group. What was most helpful for you and what perhaps could have been more helpful?
Something that was very helpful, and it's funny because in a way it's almost like it contradicts itself, but it didn't, was when he said that it was warm toned and then immediately said, but it's not actually, it's more cool toned. And I was thinking to myself, well, that doesn't make any sense. But it actually made perfect sense whenever he further clarified and said that there was a difference between the background and the foreground when it came to the tones. So I thought that was very beneficial.
Great. Blake, anything that was helpful for you or to get you thinking further about this?
I didn't scroll all the way down because I was like, oh, this is the only one that kind of fits the description I had. Little did I know there was that King George photo at the bottom that also had every single thing I described to a T. And that's when I'm like, everyone's standing on a chair. How do I make that into a word? I'll just use elevated. Hopefully that helps. And it helped.
Thinking about that compare and contrast, right? It's so easy to just think inside our little box of one thing without necessarily looking at all of the other possibilities and thinking of maybe what does this image not have that some of the other images have. So using both describing what you're seeing, but also what's not present within those is very helpful. Thank you for checking out the demo of Descriptionary. Please check me out at www.myafine.com for more information.